Hello, hello. Happy Monday, y'all. It's summer in New York, and I'm feeling it. Did you watch any movies this week, Josh?
Nothing new. My like local indie theater was doing Bleak Week last week.
Bleak Week.
Yeah, have you ever seen Melancholia? It's got
No,
Kirsten
did that?
Dunst in it.
Yeah, that came out like a while ago, right?
Yeah, like 15 years now, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
It's been on my list forever, but I saw that. It was nice.
It's like a
Very
thriller, right? Psychological thriller. I don't know.
it's thrillery in a way. There's like a looming astrological threat of like a planet colliding with Earth, and you're kind of just like living with these characters in like this kind of like private secluded place, and just like the like I don't know, the depression and fear of potential doom. I don't know. It's very depressing, but it was good. It had that like sometimes you see a movie in theaters and like you can tell at the end of the movie people like don't want to get up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like hushed after, and it had that vibe. There's
Yeah.
only like 6 people in the theater, but you could tell it was like,
Dang. When I was little, I used to think melancholy was a positive thing. The way it sounds.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a nice sounding word.
Yeah, exactly. And I learned that is very much not the case. Anyway, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. This is Mogul Moves Weekly. We cover everything from box office buzz to the industry's biggest power plays and all things Mogul by MoviePass. I'm Luigi, your host, and this is Josh, my co-host. Say hi, Josh.
Welcome in, everyone.
All right, let's get into it. First up, we have our box office board. Big week for Pixar.
Yeah, Toy Story holding over well. I mean, it was down 56-ish% compared to opening week, but still doing 70 million, holding the number one spot very strongly. Obviously, it's got big competition coming this week with the new Minions movie that will topple it. But good second week for Toy Story. I think probably the biggest story this week is Supergirl and Millie Alcock and all the kind of discussion around that. It did 38 million, which is, I think the forecast I was seeing going into Friday was around 40. So it wasn't underperforming, massively in comparison to expectations. But I think, 50, 55 were kind of the high end forecasts we were seeing. So it definitely didn't do amazing, but not crazy out of expectations. There's obviously a lot of talk about, I don't know, Millie and the press tour and like the things she's been saying, but I don't know. We've kind of been covering that a little bit.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it. I don't think I'm going to watch it in theaters, but now, especially now after the reviews, it was getting just reamed.
Yeah. And like even Stacey and Gretchen on the call this morning were Stacey had plenty of criticism for it in terms of, I don't know, kind of how they wrote the story and the villain and all that stuff. So
interesting.
I'm probably with you. I'm not dying to see it in theaters.
Yeah. I mean, but what's amazing is Obsession's holding on to the number 3 spot.
Once again, yeah, we were having this conversation on the call this morning, and yeah, the word of mouth is just so good. And that's like the beauty of these smaller movies that are doing so well, is like the word of mouth is just so good. I had 2 more friends who saw it last week and were like stunned. I was talking to my sister. She finally saw it last week.
Yeah, it's so good.
And she was like, it's like one of the most upsetting movies I've ever seen in theaters. Which is, depending on what you want out of a movie, high praise. But yeah, like Jackass was supposed to be number 3, but I had a feeling Obsession would creep into the number 3 spot again. And it did. Amazing movie. Go see it if you haven't. I assume it's going to hang around in the top 5 for at least another week, maybe another week or 2. Wonderful run. Jackass, underperforming a little bit at 12.5 was the expected number on Friday. It did 8.4. I don't really know how to gauge interest in Jackass at this point. It's like, I feel like it's like such a legacy product.
I do feel like I mean, I think that it was their last shot, like getting one more in before everyone kind of retires.
Exactly. Disclosure Day down 54% to 8.1 million, and Backrooms down 39% to 4.3 million. And yeah, we've got, we're heading into July. I don't think Minions is probably the biggest draw amongst people watching this or the MoviePass audience in general. But a lot of fun stuff coming in July, so keep an eye out. It'll be a good month.
I just think Minions is going to destroy. Just watch.
It is for sure. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our next segment, trending topics. On the topic of Supergirl, I think the headline here is like it cost about 170 million to 186 million to make and made 38 million in its first weekend. And then you compare that to something like Obsession or even Backrooms, and it's like it's hard to justify. So like what do you do with like a huge franchise like DC and like James Gunn sort of at the helm? He's going to need to he's like, yes, he's proving himself, but what does that cost ultimately?
Yeah. And I think, Supergirl's an interesting test. Like,
Yeah.
the Superman and the Batman movies are like always going to have a kind of built-in draw. I think Supergirl kind of had this chance to be kind of more niche and like dark and weird. And it didn't quite deliver. I mean, I assume it makes its money back over the course of the next few months. But yeah, I mean, DC has been in a tough place for a long time now.
True.
Outside of like the Nolan movies. Be interesting to see where they go.
Yeah, this is very true. I think there's some strategy here around like rolling out the characters in the Superman universe. It feels like they're also doing a show. They're doing like all these other things. So I'm sure there's a greater strategy, but you go, well, it's just hard to justify when there are like could we make like 20 more like mid-budget films with that same budget and like some of them hit hard like Obsession did,
Yeah, I wonder. We watched a trailer for that movie Clayface, where it's
Yeah.
like kind of like almost like Substance type, like body horror.
Yeah, that's DC too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it is, and I feel like that's almost like the lane I see DC thriving in more. Like they have the ability to make movies that are much darker than Marvel. I don't know what the budget is for that movie, but I could see something like that being like
Doing quite
kind
well.
of like like a freer win almost than just trying to like bank on these like massive Avengers type stories.
Yeah, where there's like huge expectations for them, right?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, that's fine because Hollywood always just moves on, and it's crazy to me that we're even talking about this, but we're already talking about award season. It feels like it just ended. Neon secured release dates for the movie Fjord, as well as Paper Tiger, which are two kind of like front-running. Fjord won the Palme d'Or at Cannes, and then Paper Tiger had a lot of like hype around it out of Cannes as well. And so interesting to see that, we're already talking about that stuff.
I've been talking about it around Obsession too. Like I feel like every person I talk to, they're like, oh my God, like I can't think of her name, Indy, INDE.
Yeah, Indian, Navarrete.
Navarrete. Yeah. Just like the performance she put on in that movie is like
incredible,
stunning. I feel like she's like deserving of an Oscar nom, which is like crazy to say for a May release horror film. But
yeah, because like when did Weapons come out? Was I
want to say it was like September-ish, 2024, I believe.
Yeah.
So like a little more in award season, but like something like Sinners, similarly, like it had a May drop. Everything Everywhere All at Once had a spring drop, I know.
Right.
So
I remember that.
I think, 10 years ago, these movies coming out this time of year and earlier were just like, there was no way they were going to be in the conversation. And especially something like Obsession where, no one would have ever guessed. But yeah,
Wait,
these
did you
like
mention Sinners? Did you mention Sinners just now? Yeah, that was April, like right.
Yeah. Exactly. Like these movies that you would never think have like a fighting chance are kind of like punching above their weight. So
totally.
And it's nice for box office because, you can see something in April, May, June that,
Yeah.
might be in the conversation a year later during award season.
Yeah. It's just like everything, the industry is restructuring, it seems like, and that's good. It needed some change, so I think it's welcome. All right, moving on. So yes, I'm excited for these two movies. Next up, we have Michael surpassing Oppenheimer as the highest grossing biopic. 977 million worldwide. That's crazy. Good for them.
Yeah, beating out the historical moment that was Barbenheimer.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think anyone would have predicted this, but yeah, like
No.
it's another interesting trend in box office is just like these movies' ability to kind of have like a long tail. Michael only did, it was number 12. It did 905K this weekend, but almost a million. It's still kind of racking it up, and that's just domestic. So
Yeah.
Congrats to them. And I know Stacy mentioned this morning while we were talking about this that there's like some additional like concert footage that they filmed, some like songs that they filmed.
Yeah.
And it would be kind of cool if they did like if it's up for Oscars, which it probably will be for some of them, they could do like a re-release with some like additional footage and probably like pull in the same crowd again just to see like new concert footage.
Yeah. What's interesting is that this, and I read this, I forget, maybe it wasn't Deadline, but there was a 46-day theatrical window for Michael from like theater to digital. And Oppenheimer had a 123-day window.
Damn.
And remember that Oppenheimer had the Oscar boost like towards the end?
Yeah.
Which drove a lot of it. So it's kind of crazy that like with less than half the time and without award season, Michael could do so well.
Yeah. Crazy run.
Yeah. Good for the Jacksons. Hopefully they get something out of that.
Yeah.
Next up, we have some interesting news in the tech world. A24 and Google DeepMind have partnered up. Google is investing $75 million, and in exchange, A24 gets access to DeepMind's research and infrastructure. This is like when you teach the robots to do your job type thing. And you're going, okay, well, like if, there's a lot of people, I think that like the internet's pretty divided. People either they understand AI and want more of it, or they don't want to have anything to do with it. And like, I would put like film and cinema, like people that are like obsessed with film and cinema in the camp of, I want nothing to do with it.
Absolutely.
So it's such an interesting like play and sort of like a head scratcher that, A24 would do this, because it's like A24 is supposed to be like the indie, like everything's on film and like we do things like a little crazy.
Yeah, like the Miramax vibes,
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's a weird PR move on their part.
It's I don't know. It's hard to say. Like I can kind of see the reasoning behind it. It's kind of like high risk, high reward. And I think, we all know that, AI is going to move into the space in some regard. And, more than most studios, I would trust A24 to kind of respect the artist and like artistic vision and, kind of keeping creativity in human hands. But we'll have to see, like, are they able to strike that balance? Does it end up backfiring? Time will tell.
Yeah, I think the industry is just figuring out how to do this. Like with the Disney, there was that Disney OpenAI sort of deal that was supposed to happen that completely fell apart. And now A24 is like, well, we'll do it with Google. And I think they just haven't quite figured out how to like, honestly, it's a PR problem. Like, how do you figure out how to message that we're doing this and that we're going to do it right?
100%. And if it was Disney and Google, I think the reaction would be like pretty automatic, like pretty like doomer. Disney does not need to get any less organic. With A24, maybe there's some hope that like they can kind of lead the way into the film plus AI era with some grace.
They have a lot of trust, right, in them by like people, aficionados, basically. So
exactly,
that's, I'm sure, what they're buying, what Google is buying.
100%.
Last up, our last segment is trailer hype. We're just gonna watch one today. It's for the new Robert Eggers film, Werewolf. So it looks cool. I'm excited. Black and white. Let's give it a watch.
Child of God, come. Do not dread the darkness. Embrace it. I heard of a raving beast that ravished this country.
Keep my husband safe from his cursedness.
Thy soul is cursed. Thy kin are cursed. Thy world is cursed.
Freaky.
No shortage of Robert
and
Eggers'
Christmas.
signature brutality.
Right, and also it's just Nosferatu Part 2.
Yeah, basically, like same cast, I think, for the most part.
Literally
I
the
think
same cast.
Lily Rose Depp,
Willem Dafoe.
Aaron Taylor-Johnson.
Aaron Taylor-Johnson definitely. He's never in a movie where he doesn't show his butt. I'm like, your butt's there.
His signature move.
Yeah. All right. If you guys haven't played, well, if you weren't part of the first season of Mogul, the second season is dropping very soon. So head to mogulgame.moviepass.com. You can check it out. Or if you head to mogul.moviepass.com, you can sign up for notifications for more information about season 2. We're excited, and we will see you on Thursday.
Yep.
Bye.
Thank you.